She walked out barefoot into the dark. No phone, no shoes, no clue where she went. And then, she vanished. This is the story of Lauren Spierer, a college student who disappeared into the night, and whose case still haunts a small Indiana town to this day. It was the early hours of June 3, 2011. Bloomington, Indiana, was just starting to settle into summer break. The campus of Indiana University, usually buzzing with students, had quieted down for the season. But for Lauren Spierer, a 20-year-old fashion merchandising student from New York, it was just another night out with friends. Lauren was petite, just under 5 feet tall, with blonde hair and a warm, radiant smile. She was known for being outgoing, kind, and full of life. On that night, she was out partying with friends, a mix of classmates, acquaintances, and neighbors from her apartment complex. What began as a fun night of drinks and laughter would end in one of Indiana's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Lauren wasn't just another student. She had a tight-knit family back in Scarsdale, New York. Her parents, Robert and Charlene Spierer, described her as fiercely loved, their only daughter. She had a medical heart condition that made her disappearance even more urgent. She wasn't someone who would vanish without a trace. And yet, she did. Surveillance footage and witness accounts helped investigators piece together a timeline, at least partially. Lauren and her friends went to Kilroy's sports bar around 1:30 a.m. By 2:30 a.m., she had left the bar, leaving behind her shoes and phone. From there, she returned to a friend's apartment. Over the next 2 hours, she moved between a few different friends' homes. According to witnesses, she was heavily intoxicated. Some said she could barely stand. Around 4:30 a.m., she was last seen by a friend named Corey Rossman. He claimed she left his apartment alone, barefoot, still without her phone or keys. A surveillance camera captured a final image. Lauren walking alone down 11th Street into the dark. She was never seen again. The investigation began immediately. Within hours, Lauren's parents had flown into Bloomington. They would remain in Indiana for months, refusing to give up. Police, volunteers, and federal agents launched one of the most extensive search efforts in state history. Flyers were posted on every campus wall and street corner. Search dogs combed through nearby forests and creeks. Drones were used to scan rural areas. Thousands of tips poured in. Despite this, not a single trace of Lauren was found. No clothing, no footprints, no body, nothing. It was as if she had simply vanished. Naturally, suspicion turned to the people who had last seen Lauren, her friends. Their stories didn't quite add up. Some said she left to walk home. Others claimed she was too intoxicated to make it far. One said he saw her stumble out the door alone. Another said he wasn't sure what happened after she left. One of the last known people to see Lauren, a man named Jason Rosenbaum, lawyered up almost immediately and refused to cooperate further. That raised questions. Why wouldn't he talk? Investigators were frustrated. They believed someone in the group knew more than they were saying. But without evidence, they couldn't press charges. To this day, none of Lauren's friends have been arrested. None have confessed, and no one has been officially named a suspect. So what really happened to Lauren Spierer? There are 3 leading theories. 1. She was abducted, possibly by a stranger, while walking home in the early hours. A vulnerable young woman, alone and intoxicated, would be an easy target. 2. She suffered a medical emergency or even overdosed and someone, perhaps a friend, panicked and covered it up. This theory is supported by claims that drugs may have been circulating that night. Was there an accident? And if so, was her body hidden to avoid legal consequences? 3. She was harmed by someone she trusted, someone in her circle, someone who still walks free today. Despite exhaustive efforts, police never found the proof to support any one theory definitively. There are still many troubling questions in this case. Why did Lauren leave barefoot and without her phone? Why didn't anyone insist she stay? Why was surveillance footage missing from certain areas she may have passed? And perhaps most importantly, why have none of her friends come forward with the full truth? For Lauren's family, the pain has never gone away. They fought tirelessly to keep her memory alive, launching awareness campaigns, hosting vigils, and working with law enforcement and media to keep her name in the headlines. Her mother once said, "I tuck her in every night, I kiss her goodnight, and I tell her we're still looking." Bloomington itself hasn't forgotten either. Her photo still appears in missing person bulletins. Her story still gets whispered around campus during late-night walks. For many, it's not just a case. It's a wound that never healed. Somewhere out there, someone knows what happened. Someone knows why Lauren Spierer never made it home that night. And someone is still hiding the truth. If you know anything, even the smallest detail, contact the Bloomington Police Department or visit www.findlauren.com, because the search for Lauren isn't over. Not for her family, not for the community, not for those of us who believe every victim deserves answers. This is Captain Justice, True Stories. We tell the stories that demand to be told, and we won't stop until justice has a voice. If the story moved you, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe it was an accident or something far more sinister? Subscribe for more true crime cases that deserve attention, because every crime has a story, and every story needs justice.